the Western games industry is crumbling, with most of the top publishers failing to hit the mark when it comes to creating games that players actually care about. It seems like too many decisions have led Western games publishers to just be far too top heavy when it comes to executives making the decisions and creating games that they think are gonna make the most money as opposed to games that people really care about. The result of that is the Asian games market has absolutely blown up in the last few years and is going to continue this trend. And that's a really awesome thing for two main reasons. Firstly, a lot of these game developers and publishers over in Asia are making games that are really awesome, focusing on player experience first. So we've had some of the best game releases over the last couple years, all from Nexon, NetEase, and a bunch of other publishers and solo developers that we wouldn't have had over in the West. The second major thing is, and what I really want to delve into in this video, is the fact that with more pressure from other game devs outside of the Western industry, we're having a massive change in what players expect from games. Western gaming is no longer dominating the scene, which means when we open up Steam or our PlayStation or Xbox, the games on display are from a much wider category of developers and publishers, and it's no longer feeling like a monopoly controlled by the biggest Western game devs. We're not almost forced to click into playing EA's, Activision's, and Ubisoft's games. And what does that mean for these big publishers who definitely want to be in the gaming industry for a long time? Well, they're going to have to make massive critical changes to be able to compete with the quality and care that a lot of these Asian game devs are putting in. And that is really exciting coming from a player's perspective. What this means is, whilst EA, Ubisoft, Activision, and all these other big game publishers aren't making the right decisions right now, they are game companies who listen to their shareholders and care about bringing in enough revenue to keep their business going, that they're going to have to look at these big other games coming from the Asian game publishers and go, we need to do something about this. We need to try and pivot and compete with these game devs. Otherwise, we are just going to disappear as companies, and it's going to be really bad. Forcing these big publishers into a situation where they have to make impactful changes to their games for players to actually want to play them is the best thing we could ever have happened. Because whilst a lot of bad decisions are made at the top end from all of these biggest companies, the truth is these companies do hire some of the best, most talented developers across the world. And it's really unfortunate to see this talent go to waste. Whether it's over-exaggerating monetization for live service games or under-delivering on cherished, nostalgic titles that everyone was hoping could maintain its success and glory, all of these issues will end up having to be solved, because if they're not, the Asian game market is just going to continue to capture the rest of the Western gaming audience. Now, I have quite an insight into it when it comes to this side of things as a creator myself. I've had experience dealing with game publishers and developers from both the Western market and the Asian market, and it's so clear the differences that are made at the front lines when it comes to interacting with their community and their players and the content creators creating their games, comparing Western devs and Asian devs. And the difference of just overall culture is so amazingly different that I think that it really goes to show why these games have become so successful. Let's take my experience with the EA Creator Program. Personally, for me, I've had a pretty great experience. I've been lucky enough to be in the games program, the EA Creator Network, for a while. But for those that can't get into the Creator Network, the opportunity for tools are quite limited. There's not really much choice for smaller creators to be able to reach out to EA game devs or community managers and ask for support when it comes to creating content or learning about what's coming in the game. Whereas Marvel Rivals, it's a lot easier to join the partner program, and the people there are very sort of on the front lines, giving information and giving details about what's coming, what they can expect, what kind of events they can get involved in, and it really allows anyone, even with a very small following, to jump in and try and be involved in the community. They really are trying to make a big community, and it doesn't matter how big you are. They're not just focusing the big names. The experience there in the community over in their partner Discord is absolutely amazing. Now, what's quite interesting is EA have started to create another creator program that is perhaps a bit more open to the masses, and that may allow smaller creators to get in and actually get support they need to grow as a creator. Now, this doesn't matter for the average player, but the overall sort of community building experience between, say, the old Creator Network for EA and the current Marvel Rivals partner program is so night and day. And that community-focused approach actually does bleed on over to the players. I'm not sure how the companies are structured over in Asia when it comes to their publishers and their developers making games and bringing in revenue, but it feels like whatever decisions need to be made to ensure the community and players are having a good time sort of get prioritized over a lot of other issues when it comes to monetization and revenue. And I feel like for Western game devs, this is less clear. It's far more common for Western game devs to push out things that are going to hopefully make them more money, even if that means frustrating and annoying the players, which I think is the worst decision to make. You can still make a lot of money with games if you have a large audience that cares about the project and the game, because the developers kind of put in the effort and passion, and it's so clear to see. And the sad thing is, a game like Apex Legends, where there are a lot of developers really passionate and caring about the game experience, their efforts don't get seen because of some perhaps higher level executive decisions that change the whole experience and appearance of the game as a whole, just based on these few decisions, whether it's like changing the battle pass price or other collection event shenanigans that have happened in the past. But what I'd like to take from this is that with the rising emergence of Asian game devs and publishers reaching the Western market over the last few years, it really does mean that EA, Activision, Ubisoft, the big publishers, are put in a bit of a chokehold, and they're now going to be forced to make drastic changes to the way that they approach releasing games and showing games to the community, and actually like respecting gamers' time and choice when it comes to what they create and give us. And I can't wait for the future of gaming. It's almost like we've got an arms war of gaming about to go down. These Western game devs are really going to have to amp up and change their structure massively if they hope to compete with the Asian games market. And if they fail to compete, it doesn't matter, because all of these games coming out from the Asian side of things are absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to see how the gaming industry goes. I've honestly not been this excited for gaming for a long time, because this sort of like massive conglomerate of Western publishers that have been running the show for far too long is finally starting to crumble, and we're starting to see the light, and it's really, really exciting. And that's not even to start with the whole indie game side of things as well. I feel like the quality and quantity of good indie games reaching the masses blown up in recent years as well, and it's just never been a better time to be a gamer, I think. And whilst everyone kind of reminisces about the golden era of gaming, I don't think we've quite reached it yet. It's only just beginning, and I just must say that the future of gaming finally is starting to look brighter again, and I really can't wait to see what's around the corner. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the comments. Cheerio.